What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are back on iRacing once again, and this is a car and track combination that is quite legendary in World Motorsport. We're talking about the Indy 500 in Indy cars. This is hopefully a warm-up to what will be the actual Indy 500 that'll go ahead sometime in May for iRacing. So I'm highly looking forward to this event taking place on the calendar virtually. I know the real race has been delayed till something like August or something, which is a real shame, but is also necessary given the current state that we're in the world. But yeah, this is practice for said events, and I'm just going to come out and say it now. I do ruin a couple of people's races, so I do apologize in advance for that. But hopefully we can iron out some of these mistakes heading into the actual event, which will be hopefully taking part in May. At least that's the plan. Hopefully it still goes ahead when it's supposed to, because currently a lot of us are sitting at home doing nothing. So I would love to be able to bring this race to you guys and live stream it and all that good stuff. But yeah, anyway, I recorded this race a long time ago. It was near on a month ago now. So there's going to be a live comm segment which you'll hear later. That was recorded, as was the gameplay, a long time ago. But here, this is me recollecting the events that was this Indy 500 practice. Away we go for this 10-lap race of Indianapolis in the old Indy cars. I believe this is the 2011, 2012 spec Indy car. So visually it looks a lot different to what we're currently running now. But still, I feel like this is pretty good practice to me nonetheless. I really want to be in the groove when it comes to taking part in this event at a later date. You can see I'm in the very colourful number 8 car, currently running in P6 at this stage. And we're just going to look to pick our way through the field. We do have to be a bit aggressive in this race. It's only 10 laps and there are no cautions. So if you lose touch with the leaders, that's pretty much it. So that's something worth mentioning. You can see the McLaren there, weaving in and out of traffic very aggressively. I think he spins that. Oh! He spun that car that obviously died. And now he's taken out another car on the outside. And now we find ourselves up in P4, I believe it is. The McLaren now has damage. And we are left to pick up the pieces of those set of incidents. Here's the replay on board with the McLaren livery. You can see here he's in the slipstream, and what happens here in the turn 1, I think he just gets too close. I think he literally just leans on the car in front. A little bit of net code. Oh, it's definitely net code that sent him spinning, because he actually didn't make contact with him. But yeah, very unfortunate. The guy on my outside was very opportunistic, but then he got shafted by the McLaren as well. And now he is out of the Indy 5. Can we call it a 5? Yeah, let's call it the Indy 5. Anyway, this was my POV. I was very, very lucky to avoid that. Only centimeters away from being collected. So luck was definitely on my side. We go to the inside. We overtake P3. Now on the podium. This is a race where I really don't have any luck. So to have some luck in this series right now is much appreciated. Last year I famously crashed out of the Indy 500 because of an incident in front of me, and the person who was behind me shunted me out of the race, and I was just an innocent bystander. But I'm looking to hopefully get redemption this year. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, still running in P3 at the moment. We're trying to make some inroads on the leaders. You can see the guy right behind me is up my inside. I was a little bit wary about turning in on him and potentially ending my own race. But thankfully, we do survive. Tyre wear is a massive factor to these races. You can feel like Superman in the early stages of this race, but the tyres really do degrade quite quickly. You find that at the start, you might be going flat out through a lot of the corners. But then after just a few laps, you're having to lift massively, especially if you're in the dirty air of the car ahead. So the walls can really catch you out. It really can surprise you how quickly you can run out of road sometimes. So that just adds to the difficulty of completing this race. But here we go, in the slipstream. This could be P2 for us now. Slipstream is absolutely everything in this series, but we use that to good effect. P2, leader is up next. Let's see if we can close him in. It looks like we got pretty good pace. We've gone from P6, I think, is where we qualified in this one, and we're slowly but surely plugging away and making inroads. The leader is going a little bit defensive here. Let's see if we can follow the slipstream. There's 2 laps to go. Tyre wear is coming into it. We certainly have to lift a lot more than what we did at the start of the race. So that is something we have to be mindful about in the slipstream again of the race leader. The gap is only 4 tenths. Crucially, you want to be within 7 tenths of the nearest car in order to get slipstream. Anything more than 7 tenths and it's going to be a little bit hard. But regardless, we're still pushing on. Really understeering. We've actually touched the wall on this occasion. It was only light contact, but still that is going to be enough to damage the car. You can see that the steering isn't exactly straight anymore, and we are losing straight line speed because of that damage. So it affects the aero, affects the steering. It all depends on how hard you hit the wall, and I think it's also affected our cornering capabilities. But thankfully it is the last lap, and we're going to bring it home in P2 to open this set of races. So not a bad way to start off things. I'll definitely take that.
There's the flag. It's over. Good job. Very good job.
I'm pretty happy with that. On my first attempt, I don't think the mistake on the last lap would have really affected anything. I think I still would have finished second. I wasn't quite close enough to the race leader there. So it's unfortunate, but I did many races. I think I did 5, 6, 7, 8 races of this series. So you're going to see quite a few of those attempts. The next one that you're going to see is going to be live commentated. So you'll know exactly what I'm thinking at the time. It's going to be a completely different feel. So let's move on to that race. But before we do, please leave a like, subscribe, and roll on the next race where hopefully we could potentially win. Oh dear. Welcome to the live commentary part of the video. Haven't done any practice for reference. I did 1 lap. 1 flying lap in dirty air, and I crashed 2 or 3 times. Oh, not good. So I am well and truly ready for this race. You know what? I'm going to qualify. I feel like if I start from the back, it's probably going to go a bit deadly for us. But I don't exactly think I'm going to have the pace to be on pole or anything. So it's, even still, it's not going to be a boring race. So I feel like just for safety measures, I'll get myself past the Crash Bandicoots off the start. Why is this so wobbly? Take a nice wide build up to start the lap. This is like a NASCAR trick, and even IndyCar trick as well. You want to build up that maximum speed before you start your lap, and it's just the best way to go about things, I guess. That's my very limited knowledge of oval racing right there. Apart from that, that's about all I've got to offer you guys. But I do love oval racing. It's one of the best things about iRacing is the support that oval gets. And look at this, I'm on a qualifying lap and I'm just chatting away nonchalantly as you like. We only get 2 laps of this, so we'll see what this first one does for us. Hopefully my mic is alright. Whenever I do live commentaries, I feel like I have to shout a whole lot more. I have to be very close to my mic, and I can't exactly get too close because I'm sat back in my chair and my mic doesn't stretch all the way to my mouth kind of thing. It's like half a meter away, but still that's like a long way away from where I'd like it to be. But anyway, we're down to 40.3. We're in P6 at the moment. I'm going to concentrate for these final 2 corners. Trying to make this as wide as possible is the aim, and using minimal steering lock help keep that top speed up. This is going to be a 10th.5 improvement. It puts us still in P6. Oh, it's P1! Oh, baby! What are we doing here, lads? What? I was talking on my qualifying laps. How have we mugged this? Well, there you go. Oval Racing is the only series where you can live comm and be competitive, it seems. Let's check the results. A lot of people have set a time. There's only 4 guys who haven't. Some of which might still be on laps. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. But we're on pole by half or 3/100ths of a second so far. I'm not going to count my chickens just yet. But even still, that's a great way to start the day. Even though we're on pole, it is not going to be an easy race. It's going to be a slipstreaming fest. And I'm going to be the one punching the hole in the air for everyone. So, this will be fun. Smash a like button if you enjoy iRacing content. And subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more racing game content. Let's get on the grid, burn some fuel, and piss off Greta as we melt the ice caps collectively here at Indianapolis. I think that this is a good strategy. I don't know if anyone else does this, but just burning that fuel just so we have a lighter car. We're not going to use the 43 laps available to us, so we may as well make the car lighter. This doesn't really affect the engine. Engine temps I don't think matter too much, although if I were to do this for like 5 minutes straight, I'm sure the engine would probably complain then. But yeah, 1 to green. Here we go.
Good luck, guys.
Warm up for the Indy 500. I'm sure I've already said it in this video already in the first race, the post commentary. But this is a race above any else this year in iRacing that I want to win. The Indy 500 with me has some history. We crashed and burned last time through no fault of our own. But yeah, such a lottery this race. There's just so much about it that's appealing, and I bloody love it. I really want to do well. I will be streaming it on my channel. I'll probably do the attempts on both days. I might even get a 3rd attempt in if I can do the 2 on the Saturday, I think it is. We'll have to wait and see. I just want to give myself the best chance to win this race. Even if I'm in split 57, a win is a win to me. Jesus, I can't hold the wheel with one hand. Otherwise that happens. I get to control the restart, which is always nice. I always hate the rolling starts because I always feel like I get mugged off a little bit. But I get to be the one who mugs off people. I'm probably going to leave this super late. So we'll see. First gear, just got to make sure I control that wheel spin. Oh my god, what's everyone doing back there?
The pace car is off. Be ready.
Okay, and we're gonna go green in 3, 2, 1, go! Everyone was not happy with me there. But away we go. I'm public enemy number 1. Let's see if we can break that slipstream and make this the most boring race ever. From what I remember, slipstream kicks in at 7/10. From my old IndyCar days. So if we can break that 7/10 barrier, then we're absolutely golden. Looks like it's a 2-way fight at this stage. Oh my goodness, Rex and the apex of turn 1. And normally, you want to be in 5th gear in the corners, but I feel like I'm holding really good momentum in 6th, so I'm kind of tempted to just leave it here. But I might play around and experiment with 5th if I so feel so. The voice chat is going crazy right now. Absolutely flat out through these corners. No braking necessary. You do need to lift off in dirty air though. 6/10 is the gap 7/10. Looking tasty here. Oh, and we got a seconds lead. Is that GG already? I think it might be. Oh, understeer. Okay. I don't want to get myself caught out here. That's the thing with Indy cars, is the tires can go off very aggressively, and once that starts to happen, you wouldn't believe how easy it is to just understeer wide into a wall.
You got 5 laps to go.
Ah! No. I am such an idiot.
You've got some damage. Let's get that fixed.
Oh, God.
Outside. Clear outside if you want it.
Ah! Why am I sitting on the track?
He wasn't just sitting there, Richard. He was moving right onto the racing line.
Just when I thought I was going to win my first iRacing race in many, many years. I know it's unofficial, but still. What are we saying? 3 seconds optional repairs? And back out again. Let's see what we can salvage. Let's do some overtaking then, shall we? Even if it's on lap cars.
That means 1 more lap to go.
This guy seems slow. Please, 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 please!
Car outside. Clear.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, fella? That's the real question here. Let's have a look. I'm probably at fault here. I'm on the outside, and then I don't know. I kind of just got stuck in his car, to be honest. And then do a nice little grind on the guardrail, Tony Hawk style. I guess you could say this hasn't been a great race. All right, let's have a look at this start then, shall we? I was definitely not very welcomed in this race. I'm going to go to Blimp so we can get the full picture. So obviously I'm the very colourful car at the front. I haven't braked. I was just going slowly. Oh my god, look at that back there. Okay, alright, so let's take this back even further. Thank you, Zach. Must be a big fan. This is a good view, I think. I was just... Yeah, this Red Bull car is supposed to be behind me. I'm kind of holding my speed here, but he's going too fast, and then the people in his lane also are going that little bit too fast. And so the people behind the guy in the right lane just kind of brake, because the Red Bull needs to check up and get behind me. So that was kind of the cause of it all. And then away we go. Again, rear chase. Red Bull accelerates, I'm holding my speed, and then everyone else kind of checks up, and yeah. That was a disaster. Can you imagine the actual Indy 500 in my lobby starting like that? It honestly could. That's why this race is so brutal. iRacing damage model it's not very forgiving. There are no restarts, there are no rewinds, there are no fast repairs outside of this race. So if you crash at turn 1, that's it. Come back next year. Alright, let's see my crash. So here I am, trucking along quite well. I had a lead of about a second and a half at this stage, so there was no real need for me to push overly hard. But everything was just normal in my books, and I just got a slight bit of understeer, and that was it. I was in the wall, and it was essentially game over. Oh, that was a very unlucky second hit there. And then I did something very bad. I shouldn't have done that. I'm very sorry to the blue car. In an official race, I definitely wouldn't have done that. Alright, next attempt. Let's finish this thing. I didn't even qualify and there's people behind me. How has that even happened?
About to go green. Stay focused. Green flag, green flag. Great job. Get to go.
Oh my god! How did I avoid that?
Inside. Clear inside. Go low. Inside. You're in the middle.
Oh,
Clear outside.
yeah.
Clear wide.
That's what I want
Go
about.
high. There's a car on the low side. Clear. Car outside. Outside. Clear.
This is Indy.
Car inside. Still there, inside. Clear inside. Inside. Still there.
I don't think this is going to end well.
Good job. Keep it nice and smooth. Still there, inside. Clear inside.
Okay, ended well. Good.
Car outside. Still there.
Well, hitters.
Clear high. Go
Oh,
low.
oh, what are you doing? We're doing so well. Where are we going to finish, lads? P7 already. What is going on? Oh, another death. P6. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, that guy. No! Oh, you idiot. And he's flipping into the pit lane. You love to see it. Can you stop flipping so I can get into the pits, please? Jesus. I don't actually know if we've got damage or not. I'm just coming in to get some repairs.
Yeah, don't you get it?
You got 5 laps to go.
Bloody hell. Alright, where are we? I'm normally down the end of the pit lane. And I'm not there. Alright, wonderful. I've missed a pit box. So that was pointless. Okay, yeah, I got damage. I certainly have damage. And I've got a black flag now, probably.
You got the black flag. You didn't exit the pit safely. We need to come in and serve a 30-second penalty.
A 30-second penalty. It's basically a lap of this place. Come on. Too far left. Are you joking? Too far forward. And that was my race. It started off very spectacularly from the back, but then it descended into a bit of anarchy. A lot of people died. We got collected at one stage, had the black flag, and we just brought it home in the end. But here we are for another race. Again, we seem to be starting from the back. I think this one was unintentional. I was doing qualifying. I was doing the fuel burning technique, but then my engine blew, and I couldn't get out there. So that was a mistake on my part. All these things are learning experiences for the actual Indy 500. You gotta go through all these things to get to victory lane, I suppose. But away we go once more for Indy. You can see. No! Oh, this crash is so violent. We didn't even go 500 meters.
Your car has too much damage. We've got to
My
fix
bad.
it.
I tried to go to the inside of the car and didn't realize you were next to me.
Unfortunate. Very, very... Oh, that's just absolutely horrific. Let's see this again from the chase camera. Yeah, everyone just moves to the inside, and that was just completely unavoidable. This is what can happen in the Indy 500 race. But on a side note, you gotta love the iRacing crash physics. I love the... as bad as it is to say, I do love the crashes on this game. When they do happen, the physics are just absolutely marvelous. But we move on to another race. This one might be the final of the video. And we learned our lesson from last time. We have qualified, and we've done so at the front. P2 on the grid. We are ready to go. We've just got to wait for the green car to set the pace, to accelerate away, and we will be underway for 10 laps of Indianapolis. Please, oh please, Ben, win this race if you can. So here we go, in the slipstream of the leader, heading into turn 1. Looks like he might have lifted. Don't know if he intentionally did that to back me up into people behind, but he certainly is going a little bit slowly on this opening lap. This guy was miles faster than everyone else in qualifying. I think he was 1 or 2 tenths clear of me anyway, and I've got to say that's a big margin in 1 lap pace around an oval circuit. But anyway, we had a 3 wide moment there heading into turn 3. Decided I didn't want to die on the first lap again, so we can see the position, and we're going to settle into P3 and hopefully fight our way back in this race. I know it's only 10 laps, but still, 10 laps is a decent amount of time in a race like this. There's a lot of tyre wear that can occur. There's a bit of wheel-to-wheel action that could happen for the race leaders here. And who knows, we could be in the box seat to collect a free race victory. However, we're not going to sit around and wait for a crash to happen. We are going to push forward and see if we can overtake these guys on track, if possible. So the green car was the guy in pole position. This pink car seems to have some really good race pace. Maybe he didn't get in the qualifying lap that he wanted. The green car nearly hits the wall on the exit of turn 4 there. You really have to push the boundaries in order to keep up the exit speed, and he certainly was pushing the limits there. Side by side for the 2 race leaders. We're following on board in the replay camera of a green car who is 1 or 2 cars behind me. So just keeping you guys up to date with all the angles of everything that's going on. The pink car in the lead is weaving around all over the place trying to break slipstream. That is very important to try and hold on to track position. So this could be a simulation of what happens in the final 10-20 laps when track position is absolutely key. You can see the green car has actually hit the wall 1 or 2 corners ago and has lost a bit of that momentum. We saw up his inside and take P2. Now we need to press hard here because the leader is quite a way in front of us. 8 tenths I think it is. My preview window is very, very small. I'm guessing it's 8 tenths. So we need a really good couple of corners here, otherwise we are falling out of the slipstream. The green car who was on pole is now getting overtaken by another green car. Or is it the green car from pole fighting back? I don't bloody know. There's too many green cars in this race. What's going on, guys? Pick a different colour, please. Anyway, positional changes are happening and they're fighting quite a bit, which is allowing us to break away from the pack behind, which is exactly what you want to see. I guess in this kind of race you want to be able to fight freely with the leader if you can. So we'll fully concentrate on that. But the green cars have had absolute civil war here at turn 2, and that's 2 of them out of the race just like that. The smallest of contacts in a series like this can prove to be absolutely fatal. They're gone, and now that leaves us 2 at the front to duke it out for the victory. The gap to the 3rd place is 2.1 seconds. So absolutely no way that they can fight back in such a short amount of time with no caution. So the battle for the lead will intensify now. This pink car will probably endeavour to weave even more now that he knows that we've got a bit of a buffer and we can afford to fight a little bit more. Gap is now 2.6, 2.7 to the car behind. I was really lucky in a way that I was able to fight back from 8 tenths back from the leader. I thought he was gone. I thought he was home and dry, but we managed to string together a good lap or 2, bit of slipstream, we fought back into it, and now the gap is 4 tenths. The pink car is catching up to a slower car, which might disrupt his rhythm. We are heading on to the final lap after this corner, which could open things up nicely. The pink car doesn't get a nice run out of turn 4. We're in the slipstream. We've got the momentum. It's going to be 3 wide down the straight for the lead. He squeezes us to the inside up against the pit wall. And we're through for the lead of the Indy 5. And ladies and gentlemen, this could prove to be a very instrumental race. Please let this be the victory that I've been yearning for all these years. Up the inside, we get the pink car. That was heart and mouth stuff. I thought we were gone as he moved. He moved not only once, but I think he moved twice towards the inside. But that second move, as soon as he moved left again, I think he moved back to the right in order to not crash. But this was very, very tense stuff. The slower class Indy car really holding him up a treat there. That was, I'm not going to lie, that was very, very lucky for us. But I will take that small bit of fortune. You need to be lucky at this place. The fastest car doesn't always win here. It's the smartest one. The guy who keeps it out of trouble, I guess, and negotiates traffic, crashes, strategy, all that to their advantage. And looks like it might potentially be us today as we round the final corner. The pink car is pushing as hard as he can in dirty air. He actually hits the wall out of the final corner. And here's the replay from his onboard. Yeah, just a bit of contact with the right rear. And that was curtains for his chances. It is victory in this mini 10-lap Indy 500 race. And yeah, that's my first race win in many, many years. I will definitely take that. Even if it is an unofficial race, and even if the race leader got balked by traffic, I'll take it. The pink car also got blown up as well, for good measure, after the finish, so that just adds to his woes. But there we go. That has been this video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game videos. I'll be doing an iRacing video, iRacing live stream tomorrow night at 6 PM UK time. I'll be racing at Silverstone, I believe, in a V8 supercar, against Lando Norris, against Nicholas Latifi, against Esteban Gutierrez, against a lot of F1 and real-life racing drivers. So stay tuned on the channel to see that. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Bring on the Indy 500 in May, the virtual one on iRacing. And let's hope that we can actually finish it this time. Though my track record, at least in this race, is not looking good, is it?